Hey guys, it's Riva. Welcome back to another episode of Testing the Battlefront. In this week we're looking at some continuations of last week's tests, and we actually found out some pretty interesting tips and tactics for the more underused heroes. So I hope you guys enjoy this one and learn something new. So as an interesting tactic, probably the one that I'll put as the title of this video, is that we found a new kind of use for Leia's squad shield. Now personally I think Leia's squad shield isn't that useful in Heroes vs Villains because of the amount of lightsaber heroes and, you know, kind of basically everything can go through it. So when I play Leia, I don't really need to place that, I just continuously shoot. But if you actually place the shield next to Phasma's droids, it will actually create a barrier in which you can get stunned. So if the shield is in between Phasma's droid and Leia, or any hero for that matter, the droid won't actually shock anyone. So it's essentially like you can run over to Phasma's droid, you can place the squad shield right on top of Phasma's droids, and you've basically made it irrelevant. I don't know, like I really wasn't expecting a squad shield to completely cut that out, because unfortunately it doesn't work with Iden's stun droid, for example. I think it's just because the squad shield acts as a barrier between the firing, and you can only get stunned if you've been locked on, and you can't get locked on because you're in a bubble. So regardless, I think this is a really cool tactic you guys should try out, and a great counter for Phasma if you ever get the chance to go that close and place your squad shields. Now I got this question ages ago and I said that unfortunately it would just be impossible to test online, but I've got it again and now it's possible in split screen, so I'm great to see that. And it is, can you use the repulsor cannon on Boba Fett? And yeah, you can. It looks pretty funny to just kind of force him out of the air, kind of like how Chewie just shoots him out of the air, which is pretty frustrating. But yeah, you can use a repulsor cannon on Boba Fett to knock him out of the air. Only thing is that you need to be quite close to him for it to actually hit. So if the 1 in, I don't know, 1,000 chance you actually get this opportunity, you're more or less going to miss the shot. So next we got a star card for Han Solo, and it's called Head Games. Basically, if you score 3 headshots in a row, part of your abilities will recharge. And I tried this out, and I've never actually paid any attention to this card before. And I looked at it, and it's because, you know, it actually sounds really good. But when I tried it out in split screen arcades, the only ability that was partially recharged was the detonate charge. And I used all of my abilities in these clips, like, you know, the abilities are used in different clips, but I tried it out, and after scoring 3 headshots, the detonate charge was the only one that, you know, received some kind of additional cooldown, which I think is maybe not working as intended. So if you do want to use this card, it might just be the detonate charge that is actually being benefited in this. It might just be an arcade glitch, because I've never tried this online. I don't see myself getting too many consecutive headshots online to use this card. I don't know, I think there's much better ones to go after anyways. So can you deflect the slug Vanguard? And yeah, you can deflect the slug Vanguard, but does it do the same amount of damage to, you know, how you would have done to them if a deflected shot? And no, because when something hits a lightsaber deflection, it then gets kind of transformed into a deflected shot. So pretty much all deflected shots coming off of a lightsaber will more or less do the same damage. Next question, if you go as close to a specialist as you can, is it possible to shoot them while they have their personal shield open? And yeah, it is actually possible. You can poke your gun through the shields and, you know, take them down. I think this is quite an interesting tactic, since, you know, a lot of specialist players like to pop their shield and then go around meleeing people. I'm guilty of that because it's very fun. But, you know, if you do get the chance to come out of that, you can just run straight up to them and, you know, poke your gun through the shield and take them down. Next, can you block Kylo Ren's frenzy with the heavy shield? Now I completely understand this question because multiple times I've had this happen to me, but you can see that in arcades it will hit every time. I just think maybe the heavy shields might enlarge the hitbox maybe, and you might not be able to lock on to who you're actually, like what part of the character you want to lock onto. But I tried it on in arcades for a long time, and every time it just seemed to hit. I even went into a closed space in a corner to see if the shield would actually block me, and it didn't. It just went straight through it. But I completely understand that this is, you know, it happens. You can not hit a heavy if the shield is up, because it's happened to me many times. So I'm not really sure what to say on this one. It's probably just a bug or a glitch, but you can hit someone through a shield on a heavy class. Now some speculation was going around, and this question says, if you have one hand of Palpatine, it can actually break the block or go through the block of a lightsaber hero. And unfortunately this is not true. One hand or both hands, they will still be blocked by a lightsaber hero. The only thing is that the difference is the one hand will do less damage and it will build stamina a lot slower for the hero. If you was to use both hands, then the stamina bar would fill up pretty much in seconds. It's a benefit for the defending hero, to be honest. So as Palpatine, I always go for the double hands to do the most damage and fill up the stamina as quick as you can. Next, some more diffuser for the officer. Can you diffuse a rocket from the aerial class? And no, unfortunately. Yeah, not really something I can see happening too often, since the aerial class doesn't really come into contact with an officer too often, I think. But more or less, I think it's worth showing you guys that it doesn't work. So we now have Bossk's proximity mines and barrage, and the rocket that don't get diffused by diffuser, which is quite unfortunate because I would, you know, obviously consider them to be explosives, which kind of makes the description for the diffuser a bit wrong. So that's basically it for the video. It might have been a shorter one today. But nevertheless, I think it was a good watch. It was fun to make this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you want to leave any of your own ideas, be sure to leave them in the comments or come to my Discord server. I have a specific channel just for this series where you can share your questions and, you know, you'll get a response. So thank you very much for watching. Like I said, my Discord is in the description. Thank you to Eduardo, Scott and Echo, and new Patreon Lego Darth Jar for joining me and supporting me on Patreon. Thanks for watching. It's been Riva, and I'll see you in the next video.